TV4 is a Swedish television network. It started broadcasting by satellite in 1990 and, since 1992, on the terrestrial network. In 1994, TV4 became the largest channel and remained so for a number of years. The two channels of Sveriges Television lost more and more viewers for a couple of years. But after making schedule changes in 2001, SVT1 had practically the same numbers of viewers as TV4. Since 2004, the TV4 Group has been a fully active member of the European Broadcasting Union. History: TV4 was launched on September 15, 1990. The channel invested in an extensive news organization and Swedish drama series. The premiere suffered from technical faults and the drama series weren't popular with critics. In 1991, two of the channel's oldest entertainment programs premiered, the Swedish version of Jeopardy! And the Saturday night bingo show Bingolotto. Bingolotto in particular became highly popular. This year also saw TV4 awarded a license to broadcast terrestrially. Terrestrial broadcast started on March 2, 1992. During this year, Nyhetsmorgon started and marked the introduction of weekday breakfast television in Sweden. During the 1990s, TV4 would broadcast several popular Friday night entertainment shows such as Färgen Garna Pargen Fortet, Car Currency Galen, Torre Car Currency RLEK, Pargen Rimmen, Sigtum OSTJA Currency RNORNA, Stateskampen, and Smargen STJA Currency RNORNA. They also broadcast several homegrown sitcoms such as Rena Rama Rolf and En Fyra Far Paragraph Utter, as well as the popular soap opera To Krona. In the early 1990s, the TV4 Group decided to move their 7 p.m. evening news to 7:30 p.m. in order to compete with the most popular news program, Rapport, which, at that time, was broadcast on SVT2. This failed and the news was subsequently moved to 6:30 p.m. In 2004, the evening news was moved to 7 p.m., and the status quo reinstated. In 2004, TV4 began transitioning to become a digital-only service, starting by shutting down its analog satellite signal. On September 19, 2005, TV4 began shutting down analog terrestrial transmissions, starting at the island of Gotland. The analog shut-off was completed by October 2007. Before TV4 Group closing, started with ads, philosophy words, national anthem Du Gamla, Du Fria and terrestrial programs. Since 2004, TV4 has been broadcasting a Swedish version of the internationally popular pop idol format. Most recently, and most unfortunately, the Channel 4 news channel was abruptly discontinued on August 31, 2013, for profit reasons, according to the management. Little notice was given to viewers, who just found a message of discontinuation on their screens upon tuning into Channel 4 news channel after the end of August, 2013. Email protests on the official Channel 4 Group contact form have been ignored, according to one regular viewer who has used this channel for his op-ed and feature articles. Programming: TV4 offers a mix of news, sports, drama series, soaps, entertainment, current affairs programs, sitcoms, feature films, documentaries and phone-in shows. News is an important part of TV4. It broadcasts the news program Nyheterna at 7 p.m. and 10 p.m. and Nyhetsmorgon in the mornings. On weekend mornings there is children's programming in Swedish before Nyhetsmorgon starts. After 11 p.m. until Nyhetsmorgon, it shows reruns and some Swedish and English television series. After the Nyhetsmorgon ends on weekdays, the Efter show starts, followed by English-spoken TV series up until the news at 7 p.m. In the daytime on weekends there are often reruns and sports programs. Then main Swedish and English TV programs are broadcast up to the 10 p.m. news. Friday nights have included family entertainment at 8 p.m. since the early 1990s. Bingolotto occupied Saturday evenings from 1991 to 2004. Then, TV4 moved Bingolotto to Sundays and started broadcasting feature films instead. With the start of Deal or No Deal in 2006, family entertainment returned to Saturday nights. Later, there are other entertainment shows on Saturday evenings. On Sunday evenings, Swedish-produced television programs are shown until 9 p.m. when they show a movie on Saturday nights. They also show a movie after the entertainment show. After about 11 p.m. until Nyhetsmorgon starts, they show reruns and some Swedish and English television series. The foreign programs are mainly from the UK and US. All foreign programs are subtitled into Swedish. TV4 also offers investigative journalism programs, most notably Color Factor. Regional stations. As a part of its public service obligations, TV4 owns and operates a number of regional and local opt-out stations. When the local stations were set up, they were owned by both local investors and the TV4 Group themselves. Since the start of TV4 Upland in 1996, the number of stations has been 16. Although some stations have closed and others have been set up, the total number of stations has stayed unchanged. The TV4 Group brought out many of the local stations and became the sole owner of 15 stations in 2001. The only independent station, TV4 Fistad, went bankrupt in 2003 and was replaced by TV4 Vakancy ST, owned and operated by the TV4 Group. The TV4 Group later merged the stations into 5 regional companies and in 2004, a single company, TV4 Sveriges AB. As of 2008, these are the local TV4 stations: TV4 Vakancy RMLAND, TV4 Vakancy ST, TV4 Gar Paragraf Tuborg, TV4 Halland, TV4 Öresund, TV4 Sydöst, TV4 Jar Paragraf NKA Paragraf Ping, TV4 Skaraborg, TV4 ST, TV4 Stockholm, TV4 Markarency Ladalin, TV4 Upland, TV4 Garkarency Vledalina, TV4 Mitt, TV4 Vakancy Stobotten, TV4 Norrbotten. After the closedown of the analog transmitters and the termination of TV4's public service obligations, the pattern of the local stations is due to a major overhaul which will see the number of local stations increase. TV4 Play. TV4 Play is the brand used for the video-on-demand service offered by the TV4 Group, more specifically to the streaming services offered on the TV4 Play website. 1. Jurisdiction. As TV4 was broadcast from Sweden, it has to follow much tighter advertising rules than its main competitors, Modern Times Group and ProSiebenSat.1 Media. Initially this meant that the TV4 Group was not allowed to include advertising breaks, meaning that the advertising had to be put in between the programs. Nonetheless, the TV4 Group felt the urge to include advertising breaks. Therefore, it made several infoparagrapher programs. The infoparagrapher programs were short versions of TV4 programs that were scheduled in the middle of programs. For example, Färgen Garna Pargen Fortet would be divided into 2 parts and in between these, infoparagrapher Bingolotto would be shown. This allowed TV4 to broadcast advertising in the gaps between infoparagrapher Bingolotto and the 2 halves of Färgen Garna Pargen Fortet. The Broadcasting Commission repeatedly ruled that the infoparagrapher programs couldn't be considered as real programs. In 2000 they were replaced by a program called Dagens Namn, in which the current name day was mentioned. This was later on replaced by Omenbok, in which famous people presented a book they enjoyed. This ended in April 2002 when a new radio and TV law came into force, allowing the TV4 Group to interrupt its programs for advertising, but not to the same extent as Modern Times Group and ProSiebenSat.1 Media. The radio and TV law also restricted the amount of advertising that can be shown to 10% of the programming. Since TV4 was the only commercial channel allowed to broadcast terrestrially, it had to pay a special fee to the government, consisting of a fixed fee and a variable element based on the amount of advertising that the TV4 Group sells. The TV4 Group worked to have this fee removed, especially with the launch of digital terrestrial television. The new centre-right government intends to relax the advertising rules. TV4 would then broadcast up to 12 minutes of advertising. The amount of advertising overall would also raise from 10% to 15%, giving TV4 the same rules as the UK-based broadcasters. Personalities. Adam Alsing, Agnetus Jar Paragraph Din, Bengt Magnusson, David Hellenius, Jessica Armina Currency S, Linda Isaacson, Martin Timell, Peter Ang, Peter Jihde, Yvonne Riding. References. External links, official site, TV4 TV Guide.